Welcome back to Haulin Bass TV. Before we get started today, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that for me. And if you like the content, give it a like. And if you also want to have a sneak peek into what's going on with Haulin Bass TV, head over to Instagram. I'll link it in the description and give us a follow. Today we're going to be doing the transom. The old one was rotten. We're going to get a new one in there so we're not dealing with that old rotten wood. Let's get into it. First thing we're going to do today is we're going to start cutting all the rivets out of the back of the transom. See if we can get that out first so we can get it measured up so we can replace it with the plywood that we just bought. So at the transom, we got our two halves cut out. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put some liquid nail in between the two, clamp it together, and then we're gonna put 3/4 inch screws into it just to make sure that it's not going anywhere. Let's get to it. Now that we got all the clamps on there, we're going to start screwing the 3/4 inch wood screws in there just to do it, or just to clamp it together, and then we'll start removing the clamp. All right, we got both of them secured together, and now that we have this little bit of a lip, we're gonna sand this down so that both of them are smooth and equal in width and length. And then we're gonna caulk in here in the seam just to make sure that there's nothing that actually goes in there. You see, here's some of the liquid nail actually coming out, so we need to get rid of that so that it's all smooth and both pieces match each other. We need more cowbell, Bill.
More cowbell.
We need more cowbell.
Hey.
There we go. So the next thing we're going to do for the transom is we're going to actually caulk these seams just to make sure that no water gets in them seams whatsoever. And little things like these knots down here. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is put this fiberglass resin on here to seal the transom completely. It says a quarter of the resin for a quarter of the tube. I don't think it's gonna take that much. I think it's gonna take about 1/8 of this for right now. Let's see if we can't get this thing mixed real quick. And the more resin you add to it, the faster it'll set up, and the less working time you'll have with it. All right, now that we got the resin mixed up, we're just gonna apply it to this board, one side at a time, obviously. Let it set up for, got about 8 to 12 minutes of work time with this resin. Guys, so today we're finally getting the resin on this brace so that we can waterproof it. We had already sealed the ends of it with some of that caulk, and now we're putting the resin on. Looks like we're gonna have to mix up just a touch more to fill this thing, but it's turned out good. And this thing looks absolutely amazing. Show them the transom, Bill. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna explain to you guys how this transom actually went together. The first thing that we did, as you saw earlier, is we cut these 2 1/2-inch pieces of plywood out and glued and screwed them together. And then we took fiberglass resin to seal them all. We put 2 coats on both sides of that. And then after that, before we could actually put the transom in there, we had to actually mount this with some wood screws inside on the back side of that 1-inch thick piece of plywood, so that there was no screws showing, and it would look better, and it would just make sure that nothing was showing on the outside. But the final thing that we had to do was put the fiberglass resin on that 2x4, and it was kind of a mistake, but we didn't do it until we got it in the boat. We were in a little bit of a hurry, but we also got 11 different bolts in here, up underneath here. They're all stainless steel, and that's just gonna help them from not rusting out. That was actually a little bit of a pain because I got 1/4-inch bolts, and I believe they were only 3/16-inch holes, so I had to go back through and drill all those out. I'm still gonna run 2 more here and here, just to make sure that everything's solid in there. And I also took the rivets. I took rivets out of this, but I went ahead and just pop riveted this since it's going to be above the water line. It's not real big difference, or real big deal. There's not going to be any water coming in there, hopefully not, unless there's a big problem, and I'm going to be worrying about bigger things than a pop rivet and those handles. But those worked out real well. These are actually pretty sturdy back in there. They're not going anywhere. I did happen to break these brackets here, and that one's bent up, and I'm actually going to cut those out, and I'm going to put in new brackets, and I'm actually going to bend them. They're pretty old. They're from 1963, but we're going to get those replaced. And then this transom is going to be 100% done And I can't wait to get this subfloor in this frickin' boat so that we can take it out on its maiden voyage and see if there's actually any leaks in this boat. Thank you guys so much for staying tuned in for this whole transom build. I know it's a long video, but there was a lot involved with this video today. We had a whole lot of fun getting this thing put together, and we can't wait to get another video of the boat to you guys. So stay tuned. If you want a sneak peek on everything we're going on with this boat build, head on over to Instagram at Haulin Bass TV. We'll have it linked in the description, and please make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you like the content, give us a thumbs up. Thank you all. Have a good one.
Get over here without dying.
I would have died. If you wouldn't have saved me, I'd have been done. Done.